they're going to jail. They couldn't take your life, but God can take theirs instantly. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. This powerful truth from Galatians 6:7 sets the tone for today's message. Have you ever witnessed someone plot against you, only to see their plans unravel in ways they never expected? Divine justice is no myth, it's real, and it moves in ways that humble even the proudest hearts. In this video, we're diving into the undeniable power of God's protection over His chosen ones and the undeniable consequences faced by those who dare to challenge it. Let us know in the comments, have you experienced a moment where justice came knocking in your favor? Share your story below, and let's explore the profound truth of how God fights for His people. 1. The failed assassination plan. Those who target a chosen one often operate with a singular intent: total annihilation. Their methods may be calculated, their plans precise, and their motives deeply rooted in envy or fear. But here's the spiritual truth. They fail to grasp that what is marked and protected by God cannot be destroyed by human hands. Every attempt to dismantle a chosen one's life is destined for failure because divine protection forms an unbreakable shield around them. This spiritual awakening is not just about personal resilience. It's about understanding that God's power goes before you, dismantling plots and turning schemes into chaos. Their lies begin to unravel, revealing the shallow foundations of their deceit. The alliances they form, based on manipulation and falsehoods, inevitably crumble. Strategies meticulously designed to cause harm fall apart under the weight of their own corruption. In the face of this disarray, the chosen one stands firm, their life marked by peace and purpose. This isn't accidental. It's a direct result of God's promise and intervention. It's a spiritual truth that reassures us. No weapon formed against you will prosper, not because of your strength, but because of the divine strength that covers you. This modern world often thrives on schemes and power plays, yet the same principles apply today. People may attempt to manipulate, deceive, or harm to gain an advantage. But when God's favor rests upon you, every attempt to harm you becomes a lesson in futility. Their efforts are not only wasted, but often turn back on them. It's as if they're digging a pit, unaware they will fall into it themselves. This reversal is not just poetic justice, but evidence of the spiritual awakening that reveals God's hand in every situation. To those navigating betrayal or targeted harm in life, take this to heart. God's protection is steadfast and unyielding. Their failed plans become your testimony, a beacon of hope that reassures others facing trials. Instead of retaliating, trust in the divine process. Live in alignment with your purpose, knowing that God's plans for you are far greater than any human attempt to derail them. When you carry divine purpose, you also carry divine favor, a force that no enemy can overcome. This understanding is not only comforting, it is empowering. Let their failed assassination attempts serve as a reminder that your life is guided by something greater, that spiritual awakening is not about running away from challenges, but rising above them with strength and purpose. So, stay strong, keep your faith, and never doubt that the same God who protects you will use every failed plot to amplify your story of resilience and spiritual victory. Comment below, I choose to keep the faith, and let's continue this journey. 2. The miscalculation of power. The chosen ones are set apart, marked by a divine hand, carrying within them a unique purpose and an invisible shield of protection. In a world driven by power, greed, and the illusion of control, those who come against the chosen often miscalculate. They lean on their worldly influence, money, connections, and manipulation, believing they can bend destiny to their will. But no force, no matter how strong, can override what God has ordained. It's a spiritual truth. Battles against the chosen are not mere struggles of flesh and blood. They are clashes in the unseen spiritual realm. Enemies fail to grasp this, moving recklessly as if their earthly strength can outmaneuver the divine forces guiding the chosen ones. Their arrogance blinds them to the reality that every scheme, every plot is observed and countered by a higher authority. You see, the chosen ones often appear vulnerable, their quiet strength mistaken for weakness, and their patience seen as surrender. Their silence in the face of attacks is not passivity, but trust in a power far greater than any earthly force. This calmness, this unwavering faith, is part of a divine strategy. The chosen are not left defenseless because they don't fight back. Rather, their protection comes from a realm beyond human comprehension. This is why attempts to destroy them inevitably backfire. Enemies expend their energy, only to see their plans unravel, their power slip away, and divine justice takes its course. Consider a modern story. A young woman, relentlessly targeted by her workplace rivals because of her integrity and success. They spread rumors, sabotage her projects, and try to isolate her, confident that their influence will ruin her. But she remains unshaken, rooted in her spirituality. She prays, stays focused, and refuses to retaliate. Over time, her enemies' actions catch up with them. The truth comes to light, and while she is promoted for her resilience and honesty, they are exposed and face consequences for their schemes. This is the essence of spiritual growth, knowing when to stand firm in faith, trusting that justice belongs to God, not us. Ask yourself, in your own life, have you faced battles where the odds seemed stacked against you? Did you feel the urge to retaliate? Or did you trust the process, believing in a higher power working on your behalf? These moments are not just challenges. They are spiritual tests designed to strengthen your faith and refine your purpose. The lesson here is profound. Trust in the divine plan and focus on your spiritual growth. For the battle is never yours alone. It's fought and won in the spiritual realm by forces far greater than we can imagine. Let your faith guide you, and know that no matter how powerful your enemies appear, God's justice is inevitable. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 3. When God is silent, it's strategy. When God is silent, dear listener, it's not a sign of inaction, it's a deliberate and divine strategy. His silence can feel unsettling, like standing in a storm without a clear direction, but rest assured, God's stillness is his way of observing and preparing. In moments of quiet, he's watching, taking note of every plot against you, every deceitful word spoken in darkness, and every attack formed in secrecy. Be still and know that I am God, as Psalm reminds us, speaks to the profound power of waiting on his timing. God's silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Think of it as spiritual wisdom in motion, a strategy that allows your enemies to expose themselves fully. They may think they've succeeded, but God is simply letting their plans unfold to reveal their true intentions. Have you ever wondered why the most significant breakthroughs often come after prolonged seasons of silence? During these moments, God is preparing the kind of victory that leaves no doubt about his power. When he moves, it's not gradual or hesitant. It's swift, precise, and undeniable. Imagine a master chess player who waits until the opponent believes they're winning before executing a flawless checkmate. That's how God works. His timing is perfect, and his justice is complete. It's in this silence that God not only observes, but strengthens you, shaping your faith and resilience. Are you ready to trust his process, even when you can't see the next step? Remember what Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. This reflects God's nature. He is a God of justice who ensures that every wrong will be made right. But here's the question for you. Can you remain patient and faithful when heaven seems quiet? Can you trust that this silence is the space where your faith grows deeper, your character becomes stronger, and your spirit aligns more closely with God's purpose? Think about this. Every moment of stillness is part of a divine narrative where God positions you for a breakthrough. The silence isn't abandonment, it's preparation. When God finally moves, it's to deliver a result so definitive that no one can deny his power. Vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord in Romans, reminding us that his justice is not only fair, but inevitable. So, the next time you find yourself in a season of silence, ask yourself, what is God teaching me in this stillness? How is he preparing me for what's to come? 4. Spiritual immunity. There is an unshakable force at work within those who walk the path of a spiritual awakening. The chosen ones are fortified by what can only be described as spiritual immunity, a divine gift that frustrates and confounds their enemies. It's not just about strength or resilience. It's about a deeper power, a power rooted in God's will, which makes every attack against them futile. Time and time again, attempts to harm or derail them fail, not because of their own human capabilities, but because of the unyielding protection of the divine. The scripture echoes this truth with unwavering certainty. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This promise is not a passive assurance, but an active reality for those who live in alignment with their higher purpose. Enemies often misunderstand this. They believe they can manipulate circumstances, break your spirit, or snatch away your joy. But what they fail to grasp is that God has placed a hedge of spiritual immunity around you, ensuring that no matter how fierce the storm, you remain untouched at your core. This isn't to say life won't bring challenges, because it will, but those challenges are merely stepping stones for your growth and elevation. The plans of those who aim to harm you become the very catalysts that propel you forward, like arrows shot at a fortress only to be turned back by the strength of its walls. In modern life, this spiritual protection manifests in extraordinary ways. Consider how often people try to tarnish your reputation, yet their lies crumble under the weight of your truth. Or how adversities meant to destroy your peace, instead, draw you closer to your divine purpose. This is not coincidence. This is God's hand at work, shielding you from harm while simultaneously strengthening you to rise above it. Think of the times you faced impossible odds, yet doors opened where none seemed to exist. That is the essence of spiritual immunity, a divine favor that cannot be taken away, no matter how fiercely it is contested. To those navigating their spiritual awakening, remember this: your enemy's frustrations are a testament to the strength of God within you. While they may plot, they will never prevail, for their actions are limited by the boundaries of divine justice. As you continue to walk in faith, let this truth anchor you. God's protection doesn't just block attacks, it transforms them. The trials meant to harm you become the very lessons that elevate your soul. Every attempt to break you reinforces your connection to the divine, building a spiritual immunity that allows you to thrive even in the face of adversity. So in those moments when you feel surrounded by life's challenges or the machinations of others, stand firm. Your strength is not your own. It is fortified by the Creator who designed you for a higher purpose. Let this spiritual immunity empower you, not just to survive, but to live victoriously. With faith as your shield and purpose as your guide, you will be unshakable. And when your enemies continue to falter, find comfort in this enduring truth. They cannot take your life because God's power sustains it, and that same power can bring swift justice in His time. Live boldly, knowing that you are protected by God, guided by God, and destined for greatness. Comment below, "I'm so grateful for this," and let's do it together. 5. The divine boomerang effect. When people attempt to harm those walking the path of spirituality and spiritual growth, they unknowingly set themselves on a collision course with divine justice. This is the profound boomerang effect, where every lie, every scheme, and every act of malice they hurl into the universe eventually circles back, often with amplified force. Have you ever noticed how those who try to tear others down often end up trapped by their own deceit? This isn't coincidence. It's the precise and inevitable nature of divine justice. For the chosen ones, the secret is in their restraint. They don't need to retaliate, seek revenge, or even utter a word in response. Their silence is a space where divine forces are quietly but powerfully at work. The enemies, emboldened by what they believe is success, don't realize that every malicious move accelerates the return of their actions back to them. Take a moment to think about someone who rises above negativity, who seems to thrive no matter how much harm others attempt to bring their way. Perhaps you know someone in your life, a colleague who remained calm while facing sabotage, only to later see the instigator exposed. Or maybe it's a personal experience where you chose to let go and let God handle a situation. And in time, the truth came to light in a way you could have never orchestrated yourself. These are not random occurrences. They are the hand of divine justice. The chosen ones rise because their focus remains on their purpose, not on the drama. Their energy is too precious to waste on petty battles, and their silence becomes a vessel for higher intervention. As their enemies crumble under the weight of their own deceit, the chosen emerge stronger, untouched, and unshaken. But why does this happen? It's because divine justice is tailored. The harm intended for the chosen doesn't just return, it comes back tenfold, often hitting in areas that matter most to the perpetrator, whether that's their reputation, relationships, or even their freedom. The boomerang effect ensures that no action goes without consequence, reminding us all that the universe operates on spiritual laws of balance and accountability. The story of someone plotting harm only to fall into their own trap is as old as time, yet it happens every day in modern life. Think of a high-profile case where someone's lies were exposed and their world unraveled. This isn't just karma, it's divine justice in action. How will you choose to handle injustice in your life? Will you exhaust yourself fighting battles meant for a higher power? Or will you trust that the universe has its own way of balancing the scales? The lesson here is profound, yet simple. Stay on your path, keep your heart pure, and trust in divine timing. The energy you project will always return to you. For the chosen ones, the path of spiritual growth is a journey of rising above, knowing that justice will come not through vengeance, but through the unyielding force of divine truth. The value lies in understanding that what others do to you is their karma, but how you respond is your spiritual power. Always remember, the boomerang effect is real, and it works both ways. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. 6. The reversal of roles. When God seems silent in your life, it can feel unsettling, like you're left alone in the middle of a storm. But let me assure you, His silence is not inaction, it's strategy. Imagine this. Every scheme, every betrayal, every attack against you is being meticulously observed by the divine. God isn't ignoring you. He's taking notes, documenting every move your enemies make, every word they speak, every plot they craft in secret. In this moment of silence, He He's giving your adversaries the opportunity to reveal their true intentions. He's allowing the veil to lift so that what's hidden in darkness is brought into the light. As the Bible says in Luke, "For there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be brought to light." His quietness is not abandonment, but preparation for a moment so decisive and precise that it will leave no doubt about his power and justice. Think about this. How often do we misinterpret silence as weakness? What if instead you trusted that this silence is part of a grander plan? God is not just waiting idly. He is orchestrating, aligning events, and preparing to strike at the perfect moment. His timing is never off. Remember Isaiah, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." This is a promise, not a suggestion. While you may be crying out, asking why he hasn't acted yet, God is saying, "Hold on, I see it all." The battles you're facing, the trials that seem overwhelming, are simply setting the stage for your victory. The delay isn't denial, it's divine timing. In these moments, ask yourself, how can I trust more deeply in the wisdom of God's silence? Spiritual wisdom teaches us that even when we don't hear his voice, he is still speaking through his actions or lack thereof. His silence can be the loudest testament to his control, a reminder that his ways are higher than ours. He's allowing the enemy to dig their own pit because, as Proverbs tells us, whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them. God's silence is a strategy so intricate, so perfect, that when he finally moves, it's undeniable. When he acts, it will be swift, leaving no room for doubt. So I ask you, are you willing to lean into this silence, to trust that God is working even when you don't see it? Can you find peace in knowing that his strategy is flawless, that his timing is impeccable? Just as the stars align perfectly in the heavens, so too does God align events in your life for your ultimate breakthrough. Think about how he uses silence to confuse your enemies, how they grow bold in their schemes, believing they're unstoppable, only to find themselves ensnared by their own traps. It's a reminder of the ultimate spiritual wisdom. God always has the final say. And if you feel inspired by this message, type, "I trust the process," as a way to affirm your strength, patience, and commitment to growth. Let's grow together. 7. God uses their jail sentence as a stage. God uses the jail cell not merely as a place of confinement, but as a stage, a powerful spiritual arena where his justice, wisdom, and authority are undeniably displayed. For those who lived by deceit, manipulation, and oppression, the walls of that cell act like mirrors reflecting the truth they so desperately tried to escape. It is here that the weight of their actions crashes down, forcing them to confront the harm they caused, the lives they scarred, and the divine power they arrogantly ignored. This is not just a punishment. It is a transformative moment, an awakening meant to reveal to them and the world that no one escapes the reach of spiritual justice. In their pride, they believed themselves untouchable, but God has his way of humbling the haughty, reminding all that his timing is perfect and his judgment unerring. For the chosen ones, this public downfall of the wicked carries a deeper meaning. It's a sign of divine protection and favor, a reminder that no matter how much darkness tried to harm or undermine them, they were always held securely in God's hands. While the wicked wrestle with regret, guilt, and the harsh reality of their choices, the chosen continue to rise, thrive, and fulfill their divine purpose. This dichotomy highlights an essential spiritual awakening: justice for the oppressors and elevation for the faithful. Modern life often teaches us that success is achieved through power, manipulation, or stepping over others. But this is a stark reminder that true power lies in humility, integrity, and alignment with God's purpose. In today's fast-paced world, It's easy to overlook the consequences of actions, thinking that the end justifies the means. But God's justice operates on a higher plane, one that is inescapable. For those who walk in truth and righteousness, this should bring comfort and reassurance. You don't need to fight every battle or retaliate against every wrong done to you. Sometimes, your greatest strength lies in trusting that God sees what you cannot, and that His justice will come in ways far beyond your imagination. The downfall of the wicked, even when it seems delayed, serves as proof that spiritual laws are never broken without consequence. This profound unfolding also offers advice for all of us. Don't let the pressures of the world push you into compromising your values. Stay grounded in your spiritual beliefs, trust in the process of divine timing, and know that rising above pettiness and retaliation is what sets you apart. The spiritual awakening that comes from witnessing such divine reversals should inspire gratitude and reflection. It shows us that God is always working, often in ways we cannot see, to ensure that justice prevails and His chosen ones are protected and empowered. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. 8. Ego is their downfall. Ego can be both a strength and a devastating weakness, acting like a double-edged sword that cuts deeper than the one wielding it realizes. For those who set themselves against God's chosen ones, their ego often leads them down a path of destruction. They move through life with an inflated sense of invincibility, convinced that their power, wealth, or connections make them untouchable. This dangerous overconfidence propels them to test limits and cross lines they were never meant to approach. They see the struggles of others, especially those on a spiritual path, as vulnerabilities to exploit. They misread perseverance as weakness and spiritual growth as naivety, believing they can manipulate outcomes with no consequences. But here's the irony. Their own ego sets the stage for their undoing. Ego clouds their vision, blinding them to the bigger picture, the forces of divine justice that remain at work in the lives of the faithful. The chosen ones, strengthened by their connection to God and guided by spirituality, understand that battles are not always fought with power, but with patience, wisdom, and unshakable faith. The very confidence that drives the oppressors to overreach becomes the trap that ensnares them. Time and time again, their arrogance places them in battles they cannot win, because they fail to grasp one fundamental truth. You cannot fight against divine purpose and prevail. Consider this in modern life. Take the story of a corporate executive who sought to undermine a colleague with humble beginnings, a person of faith who always acted with integrity and kindness. The executive, drunk on their own success, spread lies, sabotaged opportunities, and used their influence to isolate the chosen one. But the tides turned unexpectedly. The chosen one's quiet diligence and spiritual resilience caught the attention of someone even higher in power, someone who saw their true worth. The executive, blinded by their ego, had overplayed their hand and was exposed, losing everything they had worked so hard to protect. This is the pattern of divine justice. It doesn't just correct wrongdoing, it humbles those who rely too heavily on ego, teaching lessons they can't ignore. Now think about this for yourself. Are there times when you've been tested by the arrogance of others? How did your spirituality guide you in responding to that challenge? The truth is, the world may try to shake your faith or undermine your journey, but the spiritual growth you cultivate equips you with a strength that is far beyond what your adversaries can comprehend. Divine justice operates on its own timeline, and while you may not see the scales balance immediately, they always do. Ego-driven actions will collapse under their own weight because they are built on unstable foundations. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. 9. The Duality of Jail. Imagine this. Those who sought to harm you, those who plotted against your light, now find themselves trapped in a space far more confining than physical jail cells. Their prison is one of the souls, where guilt, regret, and the undeniable realization of their actions weigh heavier than any bars of steel. You see, jail isn't just about walls and locked doors, it's a state of being, a spiritual imprisonment where the mind cannot escape the consequences of its choices. For those who tried to take you down, their schemes have backfired, and while they may have failed to take your life, they cannot escape the divine justice that now surrounds them. As Proverbs says, when justice is done, it brings joy to the righteous, but terror to evildoers. Ask yourself, how does someone cope when they realize they've been caught not just by the law, but by a higher spiritual order? Think about this deeply. While they're facing the repercussions of their deeds, you, the chosen, are continuing to thrive. Your life is a testimony to resilience, divine protection, and the profound wisdom that comes with walking in alignment with spiritual truths. Their downfall wasn't orchestrated by you, but by the very energies they tried to manipulate against you. Doesn't it amaze you how spiritual wisdom reveals itself in the most profound ways? Their loss becomes your gain, but not in a vengeful sense. It's a confirmation that those who live with integrity and faith are always watched over. But what does this mean for you? It means their imprisonment, whether in a cell or their own conscience, is a reminder that the universe operates on balance. No action, good or bad, goes unnoticed. Do you ever wonder why those who walk in darkness fear exposure? It's because the light of truth always finds them, as it has found your enemies. They couldn't take your life because you are marked by divine favor. And if God's hand is on you, who can stand against you? Romans remind us, if God is for us, who can be against us? Now think about the broader lesson here. While they are confined, you are free to move forward, to elevate, to embrace your calling without fear. Isn't it empowering to know that your story doesn't end in defeat, but in triumph? Their attempts to bring harm to you only highlight the protection over your life. It's not just about physical survival, it's about spiritual growth, learning to trust the process, and recognizing that divine justice doesn't sleep. Are you beginning to see how every challenge you faced has prepared you for greater victories? 10. God's wrath is surgical. God's wrath is not an uncontrolled storm. It's a finely tuned act of justice, a spiritual scalpel that cuts with precision. It strikes not at random, but at the heart of pride and ego, dismantling the very foundations of those who dare to defy divine authority. In His infinite wisdom, God's justice is about more than retribution. It's about restoration. He allows situations to unfold in such a way that they expose the true nature of those who seek to harm His chosen. This isn't just punishment for wrongdoing. It's a lesson in humility and an opportunity for spiritual awakening for all involved. You see, God doesn't act hastily or vindictively. His actions are designed to realign the balance, to ensure that those who sought to tear others down are brought face to face with the weight of their own actions. For those marked by God, these trials are not meant to break them, but to strengthen their resolve, deepen their faith, and refine their spiritual gifts. This is a timeless truth with relevance even in modern life. Today we see pride and ego running rampant in personal relationships, workplaces, and societal structures. People often step on others to climb higher, driven by a sense of invincibility or entitlement. But what they fail to realize is that no one can outrun divine justice. When you are aligned with God's purpose, when your spirit remains anchored in faith despite the chaos, no weapon formed against you can prosper. This is not just a promise. It's a spiritual law, as certain as the rising sun. Those who have plotted against you may not face immediate consequences, but trust that God's timing is perfect. He acts when the lesson will leave the deepest impression, not just on the offender, but on everyone who witnesses it. This is how spiritual awakening spreads. It's a ripple effect of divine justice. The beauty of God's wrath is that it doesn't require you to fight your battles alone. As you walk through the valley of adversity, He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events to vindicate you and expose the truth. And when His justice is revealed, it's undeniable. The chosen ones, the ones who stayed faithful, who carried their burdens with grace, emerge stronger, wiser, and closer to their divine purpose. Meanwhile, those who sought to destroy them crumble under the weight of their own schemes. This isn't karma, it's God's will, a reminder that His authority is absolute and His protection of His chosen is unshakable. In a world that often glorifies quick wins and instant gratification, the spiritual lesson here is clear. Patience and faith are your strongest allies. Let this message inspire you to hold your head high even when the odds seem stacked against you. Trust that God's wrath is not just an end to the injustice you face, but a new beginning for your spiritual awakening. So, as you navigate life's challenges, remember that when God is for you, no one can truly stand against you. Keep this truth close to your heart and let it guide you through the trials ahead. If this message resonates with you, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe to our channel, and become part of a community that seeks spiritual growth and life-changing revelations. The journey is far from over, and your breakthrough is closer than you think. Share your story, or simply type, "I am growing," if you're committed to using every moment to improve yourself. Let's keep this conversation going. I can't wait to hear your insights. 11. The instant shift. When God moves, He moves with power, precision, and purpose, requiring no time to accomplish what would take humans years to build or destroy. This kind of instant shift, orchestrated by the Creator, is not only awe-inspiring but also deeply humbling. It reminds us of His unmatched authority and the delicate balance of divine order that governs our lives. Imagine someone who worked tirelessly to build a fortress of deceit, manipulation, and cruelty against you. They thought they were untouchable, invincible even. But what they failed to realize was that no one can outmaneuver God's justice. In a single moment, God can unravel every false narrative, dismantle their web of lies, and leave them standing in the rubble of their own actions. It's not about revenge. It's about restoring order, reaffirming spiritual growth, and ensuring that the lessons of humility and righteousness are learned. Let's take a modern example. Think about a corporate tycoon who climbed to the top by exploiting others, cutting corners, and engaging in illegal activities. To the outside world, they seemed unstoppable, a symbol of success and power. But one day, the truth came to light. A whistleblower came forward, evidence was uncovered, and their empire collapsed overnight. Suddenly, they went from being admired to facing legal consequences and losing everything they had built. This wasn't just about them facing punishment. It was about the scales of justice tipping back into balance. Their fall served as a wake-up call, not only for them, but also for everyone watching, that no one is beyond accountability. This story echoes the spiritual reality of how God works, not just in the physical world, but also in our hearts. He uses these moments of dismantling to remind us of His power and to call us closer to Him, guiding us towards spiritual growth and away from destructive paths. Have you ever felt like you were under attack? Like someone was trying to undermine your efforts, harm your reputation, or even take what was rightfully yours? How did you respond in those moments? Did you trust that divine justice would prevail, or did you let fear and frustration consume you? These are the times when our faith is tested and when we must lean into the promise that God sees all and acts in His perfect timing. Trusting this process can be hard, especially when the outcome isn't immediately visible, but the instant shifts God orchestrates are worth the wait. When the moment comes, His intervention is undeniable, leaving no doubt that it was His hand at work. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 12. Life versus legacy. Have you ever wondered why some people seem so determined to harm others, especially those who radiate goodness and purpose? As one of the chosen ones, you may have felt targeted by individuals whose only goal was to see you fail, even to the point where they wanted to erase your very existence. But here's the profound truth rooted in spiritual wisdom. While they may plot and scheme, they can't take your life because your destiny is protected by God's divine hand. And while they waste their energy on destruction, they unwittingly destroy their own legacy. Their malicious acts, each lie, betrayal, and attack, become the seeds of their eventual downfall. Meanwhile, you, as a chosen one, rise above it all, shining brighter with each trial, turning every weapon formed against you into an opportunity for growth, strength, and testimony. Let me ask you this. Have you considered the deeper meaning behind the trials you've endured? Every betrayal you faced, every trap set before you, wasn't just about breaking you. It was about refining you. In their attempt to destroy your life, your enemies have only highlighted God's power to transform harm into good. As Romans reminds us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Each time they try to bury you, God plants you deeper in purpose, positioning you to grow into something they could never anticipate. But what about them? While you thrive, they spiral. Their obsession becomes their undoing, and their actions, intended to erase you, only ensure their own ruin. Think about it. What kind of legacy are they leaving behind? Instead of building something meaningful, they pour their energy into tearing others down. But here's the undeniable truth. A legacy built on harm is no legacy at all. It's like building a house on sand. It may stand for a while, but the foundation will eventually crumble. And what happens when God steps in? With a single moment of divine justice, He can shift everything. As Proverbs says, whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them. Their traps, their deceit, their attempts to tarnish your life, all of it becomes their undoing. This isn't just karma. This is divine justice at work. Now take a moment to reflect on your journey. How has God used what was meant to harm you to elevate you? Your life is not just your own. It's a beacon of hope for others. Every challenge you've overcome, every wound you've healed from, becomes a testament to the power of faith and resilience. You are living proof that spiritual wisdom is more than a concept. It's a force that transforms lives. Your enemies may have tried to silence you, but your survival and success speak louder than any words ever could. They wanted to write the end of your story, but God took over as the author, turning your life into a masterpiece of redemption. So, what's next for you? Will you continue to rise above, knowing that no weapon formed against you shall prosper? Will you let your story inspire others to trust in God's justice and walk in their own spiritual wisdom? And for those who sought to harm you, what legacy will they leave behind? When it's all said and done, they couldn't take your life, but their choices may have cost them everything. As Martin Luther King Jr. wisely said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." Keep walking in faith and watch how God uses your life to prove His truth and power. In this video, we explored the profound truth about divine justice and the ultimate protection that comes from God's plan. While others may try to harm you, their actions are powerless against the will of God, who ensures that justice is served in His time. As you reflect on this message, consider how you can embrace this unwavering faith and trust in your daily life to find strength, growth, and happiness. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this powerful message, and leave a comment below about how divine justice has shaped your journey. Join the spiritual wisdom community as we continue to uncover the unstoppable power of God's plan together. Money flows effortlessly. When you vibrate to this frequency, spiritual wisdom, what you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. Buddha, welcome to Spiritual Wisdom. Today, we're diving into a powerful truth. Money flows effortlessly when you align with the right frequency. Have you ever felt like you're working harder than ever, but financial success still feels out of reach? The secret lies not just in effort, but in the energy you project. In this video, we'll uncover how shifting your vibration can transform your relationship with money. So, take a moment to reflect. How do you currently view money? Is it something that flows easily or a source of struggle? Comment below and share your thoughts on how you plan to elevate your financial vibration. Let's journey together towards attracting effortless wealth. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more transformative insights. Reframing your mindset around money begins with recognizing that money is a form of energy, reacting to the vibrations you send out. If you find yourself in a pattern where working harder doesn't lead to increased wealth, it's time to elevate your frequency to align with abundance. This video will guide you in applying universal principles in practical ways to attract financial success. Your thoughts and emotions determine your vibrational frequency. Negative emotions push money away, while gratitude and self-assurance draw it in. By shifting limiting beliefs about wealth, taking action with the expectation of financial success, and cultivating a nurturing environment, you'll begin to resonate with abundance, allowing money to flow easily into your life. Embrace higher vibrations and watch as wealth effortlessly follows. To truly invite financial abundance into your life, it's crucial to recognize that your energetic vibration, shaped by your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, plays a direct role in shaping your financial experiences. Your internal dialogue about money is the foundation upon which your wealth is built. When you foster a positive, healthy mindset around money, you naturally elevate your vibration to align with the frequency of financial prosperity, making it easier for wealth and opportunities to flow your way. Attracting abundance isn't solely about working harder or hustling. It's about tuning your inner state to resonate with wealth and success. One key aspect of this shift is transforming limiting beliefs, such as "I can't afford that," into empowering affirmations like "I have the ability to create wealth." By consciously replacing negative thoughts with statements of possibility and capability, you begin to attract new financial opportunities into your life. Remember, your thoughts create your reality, and a mindset rooted in abundance is essential for creating a life of financial freedom. Gratitude also plays a pivotal role in this process. When you express genuine appreciation for what you already possess, no matter how big or small, you naturally raise your vibration. This act of gratitude sends a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive even more blessings. Additionally, surrounding yourself with people, environments, and media that support your positive view of money will help you maintain this elevated vibrational state, which is vital for sustaining the flow of prosperity. In a world where negativity can easily infiltrate our thoughts, it is more important than ever to consciously focus on elevating your mindset around wealth. By integrating daily practices like meditation, positive affirmations, visualization, and mindfulness, You can rewire your mind to operate in harmony with the energy of abundance. Keep in mind that the energy you emit is the energy you attract. When you consistently focus on cultivating a high vibration, money and opportunities will naturally gravitate towards you. If this message resonates with you, leave a comment below with "Abundance awaits" to affirm your commitment to financial growth. And if you have a different perspective or thoughts to share, feel free to join the conversation. Together, let's elevate our collective financial vibration and create lives filled with prosperity and joy. Money is far more than just a tangible asset. It is a dynamic form of energy that mirrors your inner world, your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. To attract financial abundance into your life, the secret lies in aligning your energy with the vibration of prosperity. During a spiritual awakening, you become aware of the profound power of your mindset. If you hold the belief that money is scarce, difficult to attain, and only accessible through struggle, that is the energy you radiate, and it can create energetic blockages that prevent the flow of wealth. However, when you consciously shift your mindset to one of abundance, believing that wealth is infinite and accessible, you elevate your vibrational frequency, allowing money to circulate more freely into your experience. To begin harmonizing your energy with the frequency of financial abundance, it's essential to first foster a positive and open mindset. Start by setting clear, intentional, and specific financial goals. Take time to reflect on your current beliefs around money. Are these beliefs helping you or holding you back? Transform your actions to align with a confidence in abundance, rather than acting out of fear or a mindset of scarcity. When you consistently vibrate at the frequency of abundance, the universe will naturally respond by ushering wealth into your life in unexpected and profound ways. If this resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your intention to align with the energy of prosperity by commenting "abundance" below. Together, we can continue this transformational journey, inviting financial prosperity and abundance into every corner of our lives. Let's dive deeper into how your mindset about money directly impacts your financial success. For many, money is viewed as something elusive, difficult to earn, and constantly in short supply. This way of thinking creates a scarcity mindset, which operates at a lower energetic vibration, inevitably drawing more lack and limitation into their lives. But what if this perspective could shift? Imagine seeing money as not only abundant, but also readily available to you. By adopting this belief, you begin to align with a higher frequency, one that naturally attracts prosperity. Albert Einstein famously said, "Align with the frequency of the reality you desire, and you cannot help but achieve it." This powerful truth applies to money as well. When you shift your energy to vibrate at the frequency of abundance, you signal to the universe that you are open to receiving wealth, opportunities, and resources. It's not just about adopting a positive attitude. It's about genuinely believing that money will flow into your life with ease and grace. So, take a moment to reflect on your current thoughts around money. Are they dominated by fear, anxiety, or a sense of never having enough? Or do you hold the belief that money is plentiful and that you are deserving of financial success? By making a conscious decision to transform your mindset, affirming that wealth is easily accessible to you, and regularly visualizing yourself thriving financially, you'll begin to raise your vibrational frequency. And it's at this elevated frequency that abundance becomes a natural part of your reality. If this message resonates with you and you feel inspired to rethink your relationship with money, we invite you to comment below with "I attract wealth." Your engagement not only empowers you, but also helps us craft content that supports your journey toward greater financial abundance and success. One of the most significant barriers to achieving financial abundance lies in the limiting beliefs we've developed around money, often formed through past experiences or societal norms. Perhaps you've been conditioned to think that money is scarce, or that financial security can only come through relentless hard work. These beliefs, though deeply ingrained, are not permanent. As Tony Robbins wisely states, the only thing standing between you and what you desire is the story you keep repeating to yourself. So, ask yourself, what narrative have you been telling yourself about money? To truly manifest financial prosperity, the first step is to recognize and challenge those restrictive beliefs, then consciously replace them with thoughts that empower you. Take a moment to reflect on times when money has come to you effortlessly. If such instances feel few and far between, begin visualizing what it would be like to live in a constant state of financial abundance. Gratitude plays a pivotal role in this transformation. When you focus on the blessings you already have, you shift your energy from a mindset of scarcity to one of prosperity. As Eckhart Tolle beautifully reminds us, acknowledging the good that is already in your life is the foundation for all abundance. It's equally important to surround yourself with environments and people that reinforce a wealth-positive mindset. Immerse yourself in spaces where abundance is celebrated, and take inspired, decisive action when opportunities arise. Ralph Waldo Emerson famously said, "Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." Understand that money is not an end goal, but rather a tool to help you realize your deeper aspirations. When you shift your focus from the pursuit of money to the freedom, opportunities, and joy it can create, you'll find that wealth flows to you more effortlessly. Jim Rohn wisely noted, "Success is not something you chase, it is something you attract by becoming the person you were meant to be." So, what energy are you projecting into the universe today? If you've already begun to challenge your limiting beliefs about money and experienced a shift in your financial reality, share your story in the comments to inspire others. And if you're just beginning this journey, comment with, "I'm ready to change." And let's embark on this path of transformation together. It's time to rewrite your money story and open yourself to the abundance you truly deserve. In today's rapidly evolving world, many of us find ourselves relentlessly pursuing greater financial success, chasing more wealth, more achievements, with the belief that sheer hard work is the only key to prosperity. While effort and dedication are important, true financial abundance stems from something far deeper: the cultivation of an abundance mindset, which is rooted in spiritual principles. Instead of focusing on what you lack, shift your attention to what you already possess and express sincere gratitude for those blessings. This simple yet profound act of gratitude elevates your emotional state, aligning you with the positive energy of wealth and prosperity. When you adopt this mindset, transitioning from one of scarcity to one of abundance, you naturally begin to attract financial opportunities. It becomes less about effort and more about the ease with which wealth flows into your life. By regularly practicing gratitude, you train your mind to recognize the opportunities that once seemed invisible, and as a result, money starts to come to you more freely. It's not just about working harder, it's about shifting your energy to match the vibration of financial prosperity. Spiritual teachings remind us that we are all part of a universal energy that connects everything. When you consciously tune into this energy with an abundant mindset, you tap into an infinite well of potential that can transform your financial reality. Gratitude is more than just a pleasant emotion. It's a powerful tool that raises your energetic frequency, drawing wealth and opportunities toward you. Begin by acknowledging the small blessings in your life, and you'll soon notice that your mindset begins to shift. As this transformation takes place, your external world will reflect it. Financial stress will diminish, and money will start flowing into your life with greater ease and consistency. Are you ready to make this powerful mindset shift and unlock the door to true financial abundance? If you are, I invite you to take the first step by affirming your commitment. Comment below with "I embrace abundance" and declare your readiness to embark on this transformative journey. Together, we'll cultivate a life where wealth is attracted effortlessly and prosperity becomes your natural state. Financial success goes beyond just accumulating material wealth. It's about tuning into the energy where money flows effortlessly. This requires aligning your mindset, emotions, and beliefs with abundance, a concept supported by both scientific and psychological principles. The energy of your thoughts directly influences your reality. By focusing on positive intentions and setting clear financial goals, you begin to vibrate at a frequency that naturally attracts wealth. The key is to release any limiting beliefs that suggest money is scarce or difficult to come by. Instead, embrace the belief that wealth is abundant and available to anyone open to receiving it. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that hard work alone leads to financial success. However, when your thoughts, goals, and actions resonate with the frequency of abundance, money flows with greater ease. Start by setting clear financial goals, visualize them every day, and truly feel the emotions that come with achieving them. This emotional alignment is essential in transforming your desires into reality. Remember, financial success is not just about working harder, it's about aligning your energy and mindset with abundance. Are you ready to embrace a mindset where wealth flows naturally into your life? Leave a comment below this video with the words, "I am ready to receive abundance." The foundation of financial success lies in transforming your beliefs about money from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. Many of us have been taught to see money as something scarce, which creates obstacles in attracting wealth. However, money is simply energy, and it responds to the vibrations you project. When you resonate with fear and scarcity, money tends to elude you. But when you align with confidence and abundance, it flows into your life effortlessly. To change your frequency, begin by reflecting on your current beliefs about money. If you see it as something difficult to come by, you're likely inviting financial struggles. Instead, embrace the notion that money is a tool for expansion and opportunity. This mental shift is a form of spiritual awakening, where you actively choose to align with abundance. Take Sarah, for example, a graphic designer who struggled financially despite her hard work. When she shifted her mindset and started viewing money as abundant energy, her financial situation dramatically improved. She began attracting higher-paying clients and new opportunities, all because her energy was vibrating at a higher level. So, ask yourself, what is your perspective on money? Do you view it as something limited, or as energy that can easily flow into your life? By changing your mindset and resonating with abundance, you can completely transform your financial circumstances. Remember, money flows easily when you're in alignment with the right energy. If you realize that your current mindset has been shaped by scarcity, it's time for a change. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you see money as limited or abundant? Type "scarce" if you feel it's limited, "abundant" if you believe it's plentiful, or "shifting" if you're in the process of changing your mindset. Let's spark the conversation and begin attracting the wealth you truly deserve. Cultivating a positive financial vibration begins with the power of visualization. Imagine yourself living the financial life you've always dreamed of, free from debt, financially secure, and abundant. This practice helps your mind start believing in the possibility of achieving your goals. The next step is to shift the way you speak about money. Use positive, grateful language and see money as a tool that empowers you rather than a source of worry. Setting well-defined, specific financial goals also plays a crucial role. When you're clear on what you want, you're sending a direct message to the universe to help manifest it into your life. Take, for instance, the story of Sarah. By shifting her mindset and approach to money, she transformed her financial situation. She visualized her goals, spoke about money with positivity, and established clear milestones. In just 3 years, she fulfilled her dream of becoming a homeowner. The lesson? A spiritual awakening involves recognizing your ability to attract financial abundance by aligning your energy with the vibration of wealth. If this message resonates with you, comment, "I am ready for abundance" below to affirm your commitment to aligning your vibration with financial prosperity. Let's move forward on this path together, embracing our inner power to attract the wealth and stability we deserve. Establishing clear financial objectives is vital. These objectives serve as a guiding path, transforming your dreams into tangible milestones. Without them, your visualization lacks focus and direction. As Tony Robbins wisely put it, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So, what financial objectives are you setting today? Ensure they are specific, quantifiable, and aligned deeply with your desires. Patience and perseverance are key throughout this journey. Manifestation doesn't happen overnight. It demands consistent action and steadfast belief. Picture it like nurturing a tree. You plant the seed, care for it, and patiently wait for it to bear fruit. Calvin Coolidge once said, "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence." Your energy matters as well. Are you operating at a frequency of abundance or scarcity? Gratitude amplifies your vibration and brings more wealth into your life. As Albert Einstein noted, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. So, attune yourself to the energy of abundance. Define your goals, visualize them, and trust the universe to handle the rest. Wealth is poised to flow into your life effortlessly. Are you ready to embrace it? If so, comment below, "I set my goals," to affirm your commitment to this transformative journey of abundance and manifestation. Let's synchronize our energies with wealth and witness the magic unfold. To genuinely invite abundance into your life, having a positive mindset alone isn't sufficient. You also need practical financial skills. Spiritual awakening reveals that money, like any form of energy, flows smoothly when we are in tune with the right frequency. But this optimistic mindset must be coupled with financial knowledge, such as understanding how to budget, save, invest, and handle debt. Imagine someone who practices positive affirmations daily, but faces financial difficulties because they lack the know-how to manage their resources effectively. When they combine positive thinking with financial literacy, they start to experience tangible, long-lasting results. The takeaway is clear: spiritual growth and practical financial skills must work together. By gaining financial education, you not only open yourself up to receiving abundance, but also create the ideal conditions for money to flow effortlessly into your life. Remember, true wealth lies in both attracting it and managing it wisely. As we dive into the powerful vibrations that draw financial abundance, let's reaffirm our dedication to aligning with the frequency of wealth. Your presence here signifies your commitment to transforming your financial reality. Comment below, "I am ready to align with abundance," as a declaration of your devotion to this journey. Now let's continue to uplift our mindset and invite the effortless flow of wealth into our lives. As we come to the end of this video, I hope you feel empowered to take action and align your energy with the frequency of abundance. Remember, money is energy, and by raising your vibration through positive thoughts, gratitude, and self-belief, you open the doors to financial flow. It's not just about working harder, it's about working with the universe, vibrating at a frequency where money naturally gravitates toward you. Now, I encourage you to apply these principles daily. Whether it's through affirmations, visualization, or simply shifting your mindset, the power is in your hands. How do you plan to elevate your financial vibration? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue this journey together. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more transformative insights from spiritual wisdom. Remember, abundance is waiting for you. Are you ready to receive it?